Hey everyone, welcome back to new series of Python. So in today's video, we will be discussing about the string data type. A string data type comes under sequence data type. Why it's known as sequence data type? Because we know a string is a collection of characters. So it comes under a sequence data type. And each of the character in a string is not treated as a character data type because in Python programming, we don't have a character data type. Instead, each character will be treated as a string itself with a length of 1. And we can just use this string for many applications such as storing the text or storing the address or making the text manipulations and all. So let's see how can we manage the string data type in Python. So here you can find the syntax. So if you want to define a string, you can just provide the variable name for your string and use an assignment operator as we just want to store the string value into this storage area. So you can just provide that. So in order to define a string, we can either use a single quotes, double quotes or triple quotes. And always keep in mind that the triple quote is used for making a string in multi-line. And now here we are just create the strings with double quote, single quotes and triple quote, and let's see how it's effective in Python. So first I'll be providing the variable name as single quotes as we are just going to deal with the single quote. So here you can just provide the word Cybrosys and that's for single quotes, and we will be going with the double quotes. So I'll be naming my variable as double quote, and you can just use the assignment operator into this. We are just going to assign the value. Let it be Cybrosys Technologies. And now we will be using the triple quotes. So we know that triple quote is mainly used for declaring the multi-line strings in Python. So I'll be letting the name, that is the variable name, as triple quote, and you can just use the triple quotes over here and provide the values, that is the string value. So it's Cybrosys Technologies and Private Limited. Okay, so you can just use the triple quotes for making it in the multi-line. Well, now we just need to print everything. So let's say print single quote, and yeah, we can just use an identifier over here that is single. Now we just need to get the result in the double quote. So let's provide the object that is double quote, put a comma, and you can just provide a identifier for the easy identification because that shows from where you just got the result. And we can just use the other print function, and let's provide the object as triple quote. Now separate it with a comma and provide the identifier. Let it be triple, and now you can see you can print the file over here. Now we have just got the result over here. So here you can see currently we have got the results for single quote, double quote and triple quote. Now let me include a string over here, Cybrosys is, and let me try to print it in multi-line. Let's provide the value in the multi-line, and here also in the double quote I'm going to give it in the multi-line. Now let's again rent this, and let's see whether we can just manage the string and all. So is a keyword, that's why it's indicated in red color, the other color. So let me change the word let it be Cybrotech, and we have to remove the code from here. Later on we can just rentify it. So as you just rentify here, you can see that unterminated string literals is detected over here. This is because we cannot just manage the strings with multi-line for the single quotes and double quotes. So if you want to make your strings in multiple lines, then you have to use the triple quotes over here. So now let's remove this string over here, or you can keep it in a single line in order to avoid this situation. So here you can see now as we just ran the file, here currently we have solved the error. Now here we are just going to discuss about the accessing character in the Python string. So we can just access the individual characters from a Python string using the index. So the indexing can be positive index or the negative indexing. So the positive index always starts from 0 and the negative index starts from -1. So this will help you to get the particular character from a string. So here, when you just try to get a string which is out of the index, then that would always raises an index error. And you can only use the integers for the indexing. So whenever you try to get the index with any other data type, that always shows an error. So let's see how can we just manage with the positive indexes in Python. So here let me define a string. So let the variable name be company. And here you can just define a string. Let's say Cybrosys is a string. And we just need to get a particular element. So let's go with the print function and you can just provide the object over here. So we know in order to manage with the index, we have to use the square bracket and you can just provide the index over here. So what if I set the index as 2? I'll be getting the value in the position of 2. So in the position of 2, currently you can see we have got the value as 2. Okay, now let me say, let's define any other value over here. That is the string. So let me define it as tutorial as the variable name. And let me provide other string which is hi Python. Okay. So here you can see that I just need to print the element in the position of 2. So let's use a print function over here and you can just provide the object name. So the object name is tutorial. Later on, as we just want to find the character from a particular position, you can just provide the position over here, which is 2. So whenever I try to get the element or the character in the position of 2, here you can see we won't be getting anything because the space is set to null because there is no character available over here. So let's give an identification. Let it be blank. So you can find the identifier that is given over there or in the statement. So you can see currently in the position of 2, we have currently got I. So this is because a space is provided over here. Okay, so this blank space is treated as 0 and in the position of 1 or in the index of 1, it is the character comes as H and in the position of 2, it comes as I. Now let me remove this position and again run this file. And here you can see that currently as we don't have any character in the position of 2 or in the index of 2, we have received a blank over there. Now let's see how can we just manage with the negative indexing. So negative indexing is basically used for getting the elements from backward or from the right to left. So here you can see we have already defined a particular strings over here. So we just need to get a particular character from the string using the negative index. So here let's go with the negative indexing. Let's print and you can just provide the object over here. The object is company and I'll be going with negative index. So I just want to find the element in the position of -3. So as I just print this, you can see you will get the character as 3 or we can say the element as 3 over there. So here you can see that in the position of -3, we will be getting S as the value. Now here we are going to check how to manage the string slicing. So we have already done a video on what is slicing in list. So the same concept is applied for slicing a string. So basically a string slicing is used for slicing a range of character. And the operator that is used for slicing is the colon. We can also manage the string slicing using the positive index as well as using the negative index. So let's see how can we manage the string slicing in Python. So here let's consider an example first as I want to do the slicing from the character 3 and till 7. So as we just set the slicing range from 3 to 7, then the character will start, or we will consider the character in the position of 3, and the slicing will start from the position of 3 and till 7 it will be considered, but the character in the 7th position will be excluded. So let's see how can we just manage the slicing over here. So let's consider a string, let's say the variable as com, and we can just provide the variable over here as Cybrosys. So here we know Cybrosys and it has got the length. We just want to find the length. So if we want to find the length, we can just use the length function. So I'll be using the print function. Then let me go with the length and let's provide the object over here, which is com. And you can see currently it has got 8 elements. So if you're just going with the positive indexing, the indexing will start from 0 and ends at the position of 7. And if we are just going with the negative indexing, then it starts from -1 and ends in -8 index. So we are just going to slice the elements or the character from the range 3 to 7. So you can just use the print function. Later on, you can just provide the object. So the object is company over here. And we just need to slice it from 3. Then the slicing operator is colon. And you can just provide 7 over here. So let me run the file, and here you can see that in the position of 3, actually the character is R. So the slicing starts from the index 3. So that will consider R as well as the next index and till 7, which means in the position of 7, we have S as a character. That character will be excluded, which means we can say that the last element is taken in terms of n-1. So here till y, the elements will be considered. Now we will go with the negative index slicing. So let's say, let's consider the same string itself, and we will be using the print function, and we can just provide the object over here, which is com, and we're going to slice from the character from 2 and till I'll be providing it in the position of -2. So in this case, this slicing starts from the index 2 and ends at in the position of index -2, which means the element or the character comes under the index of -2 will be excluded. So here you can see we can just run this, and in the position of 2, it's B, and we will just consider the next elements and all. And as we just go with the negative indexing, here you can see in the position of -1, it's S, and in the position of -2, it's Y. So these characters, which means Y and S, will be excluded as we are just going with -2. The character in the position of -2 will be excluded, and here you can see B, R, O, S will be taken as the output in negative slicing. Now let's see how can we manage the reversing of a string. So there are 2 ways by which we can just reverse a string. Simply using the slice method, we can just reverse a string, or we can just reverse a string using the reverse function. So if I want to reverse a string, I can just go with the slicing method. So we will be using the print function. Later on, you can just provide the object over here. Now, use the bracket, because we always go with the bracket in order to manage with the indexes and slicing. So you can just use the square bracket and use double colon and go like -1. Now, as you run this, you can see currently we have reversed the string successfully. Now we can also reverse the function. We can also reverse a string using the reverse function. So here you can see that we have to use a particular syntax over here. So I have provided the syntax. Now let's see how this is done in Python with an example. So I'll be setting it as a, let it be tutorial 1 as the variable name. And here you can just provide like Python tutorial as the string. Now we just need to reverse this. So using a particular function or reverse function, we can actually reverse this. So in order to do that, I'll be using another variable, let it be t, and I'll be assigning I'll be assigning these syntax into that. So in order to manage with this, first we have to use the double quotes and put a dot. Then you can just use the join method. Then we have to use the reversed constructor over here. And later on, you can just pass the object. So the object over here is tutorial 1 because we just want to reverse that string. So here you can just provide tutorial 1 over there. And now as you just print t, you can see that we have successfully reversed our string. And here you go, like we have successfully reversed our string. Yeah, that's it. Now let's see how can we delete a string in Python. As a string is immutable, we cannot delete a string because once a string is created, we cannot change it. So whenever we just try to delete a particular character from the string, it is not possible. Rather, we can just delete a string entirely. So we can just delete a string using the del keyword, and or we can just entirely delete a string. So we will be checking both methods how the del keyword is working for a string. So let me define a string over here. So let's say str1 be the variable name for our string, and let me give the string value as Python. Now I just need to delete a particular character from this string. So before that, let me print str1 because I want to know the value in the variable or in the object. So here you can see the variable or the string, or we have just got the value as Python. Now we just want to delete a particular character in a particular index, which means it's not possible. So if you want to delete likewise, you can just use the del function and provide the object name over here, that is str1. From that, you would like to delete the element in the position of 3. Now, when you just try to do that, what happens is that you will get an error over here. Because we know as the Python strings are immutable, we cannot just manage with the deletion for a string. Now, if you want to delete this, you have to go like deletion of the entire string. Now, let me consider the same string itself. So let's copy this, and here we are just going to manage the deletion of the entire string. So I'll be considering the string 1 itself, and we want to entirely delete this. So you can just go like use the del keyword, and you can just delete the string. Afterwards, you want to print that. And as you just try to print this here, you will get an error. This is because we can just delete a string entirely. But when you just try to print that, you will get an error. This is because we have already deleted the string in the variable, and we have made that space as empty. And whenever you try to print an empty space, you will get an error over there. Now let's see how can we update a character or string in Python. As a string is immutable, we cannot just manage the updation operations in Python, and we can just go with the other way in which we can just update the string. So there are different ways by which we can update a string. Actually, that operation is not possible, but using the alternative ways, we can just update a string. So whenever you just try to update a particular character directly in Python, that always raises the error. So here we will be demonstrating other example. A few examples by which we can just make updations for a string once it's defined. So let me define a string over here, and it has got the value Cybrosys. Now, in order to manage with the updation for a particular character in string, I want to just convert this string into list. So in order to do that, first we can just consider a variable. Let's name it as string2, and into this we will be storing the converted value. So as we just want to convert this into a list, we have to use the list constructor, and we have to enclose this within a round bracket, and we can pass string1 as we want to just convert string1 into a list. Now we can just print the string2, and here you can see we have successfully converted the string into a list. Now I just need to change the value in the index of 7 as p. So as the string2 contains the list, we can just consider the object over here, and in the position of 7 I just want to assign a particular character. Let it be p, and here you can see we have just provided that, and later on we can just consider the other string in order to use in order to manage with the updation of a string. So let it be string 3, and here we can just use the join method. Now in order to use the join method, first we have to use the double quotes, later on put a dot and use the join method, and into this we can pass the string2. So I'll be passing string2 over here. Afterwards, let's run this, and as we just run this, here you can see currently we have just updated a particular character in the position of index 7 over here. Now let's see how can we manage the updation of a string or a character using string slicing method. So here let me define a string, and you can find the value over here, and using the slicing method we can also actually update a particular character in a string. So as we just want to make updation of a particular character from the string 1, you can just provide the object over here and use the slicing. So I'll be providing the slicing operation like 0:2. So the slicing starts from 0 and it will end till the index 2, which means the element or the character in the index of 2 will be excluded, and I want to replace the element in the position of 2 as p. So use a plus operator and put the character over here, and later on you can again use a plus character, not plus character, plus operator, and we just need to again get the rest of the characters in this particular string. So I'll be using the string 1 because that's the string that we are just dealing with, and now we just need to start from 3 and we just need to get the rest of the characters, and you can just put just a colon, so that will take every character till the end. Now we can just print this, so use the print operation and print slice, and here you can see that currently the character in the position of in the position of 2 or in the index of 2 is replaced as p. Now we can also update the entire string. So here you can just define the string over here. Now I just need to print this. So let me print the value in string 1. So as we just print the string 1, here you can see the value currently is Cybrosys. Now if we want to update or make the updation for the string, we can entirely update that. And let me define another value for the string. So let's use the string 1 over here, and let's provide the value as Python. Now again we can just print string 1, and here you can see we can entirely change a string over here, which means we can entirely update a string in Python. So that's all about dealing with the strings in Python. So I hope this video clarifies how to manage the string data type in Python. So if you want more videos or if you have any questions regarding this video, please do give a comment. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video.